stopping a Mercer Island street brawl. I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
2021 is the year of the local election. From fire district commission to school board to city council, there are over 300 offices up for election this year in King County alone. With so many moving pieces, it's important to know what paperwork is due when. That's where King County Elections comes in. While we can't teach you how to campaign, we can teach you how to make your run official. Join us for one of our upcoming candidate workshops in April. Thursday, April 1st, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, April 17th, 10 a.m. to noon. Thursday, April 29th, 10 a.m. to noon. Join us in April to learn the ins and outs of becoming a candidate here in King County.
Phil-Am Radio, servicing the Filipino and Filipino Americans all over the world. Phil-Am Radio, streaming live in the internet every Tuesday from 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. Shuttle USA time. We are your host, Kuya Bert Kawili, Emma Heron, and
Manny Panganiban.
Phil-Am Radio.
Sunday nights from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's K-Fox Night Beat with DJ Nastiness.
Bringing back the memories.
Bringing back the memories.
Bringing Seattle's hottest music.
Bringing Seattle's hottest music. Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Celebrate 4 years of broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in the interest of South Seattle and surrounding communities. Hey, it's Tony B, and yes, I'm excited to share with you, April is our birthday. This one is our fourth of amplifying the diverse voices in our community, broadcasting community events, providing award-winning instructional classes to youth and adults, supporting our music communities in all genres and forms, hosting critical conversations, and making sure that we are who you are. 2020 provided us with the opportunities to meet the needs of our community. Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to have provided our communities with the most comprehensive coverage of the coronavirus did and continues to impact our community. And so, for our birthday, on behalf of our amazing staff, volunteers, and show hosts, to all of our contributors, supporters, listeners, and viewers, thank you. Join us in celebration. Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not explaining to my intern exactly what R&B is, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Well, welcome to another edition of Monday Night Sports with Dupe and Big Edwin Bailey. How's it going this evening? Everyone doing all right? We've got a lot to talk about, but you know what? If you have been following us and paying attention, you have joined us every Friday night for the last 7 weeks, actually, Friday or Saturday or both, for Metro League football, and the Metro League football season wrapped up this Friday, kind of a condensed, as you know, spring season. But you know, it was great to get the kids out, for them to have an opportunity to play again. And in all of this pandemic, I look at last year and what happened, and I really feel for the young people that, especially the seniors last year. You know, the pandemic hit, everything was shut down, and everything they did was virtual, from any activities that they may have had planned, from prom to you name it, all the sporting activities, all of that was shut down. And so for the kids to be able to get back out this year, and it was a joy for us to bring Metro League football to you. So a couple of things, and I'm going to early in the show, we've been waiting late, but early in the show we're going to do the drum roll, and I'm going to give you our final player of the week that will win a $20 gift certificate to the Emerald City Fish Company. And it was an exciting season. If you just joined us, I'm Dupe, and you're listening to Monday Night Sports right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. So I got to preface it by giving you a little bit of the season if you weren't following the season. So week 3, basically the Metro League, it's kind of split up into 3 divisions, if you will. The strongest teams make up one. The teams that are pretty strong but not as strong fall in kind of the middle category, and then you have the third category, or division, if you will. O'Day, Eastside Catholic, Garfield, Ballard. I mean, those are teams, Rainier Beach teams that are in that top division. But you had some teams this year, Seattle Prep. You had, like I said, Ballard that just really represent. Anyway, with all that said, week 3 was one of the biggest upsets in the Metro League in years. O'Day and Seattle Prep were playing. O'Day led 14-7, and as they acknowledged, gave up a lot of opportunities that they scoring opportunities. They didn't punch it into the red zone. But with that said, really, literally, the last play of the game, if you weren't paying attention to the season, Seattle Prep scored a touchdown, and then with no time left, went for a 2-point conversion and won the game 15-14. First time since 1980. That's the year I graduated from high school, so that's how long ago it was. 40 years ago. That certainly dates me if you can do any math. But anyway, with that said, so it was kind of the rematch, if you will, on Friday evening. And in the previous game, you had Eastside Catholic and Ballard. And Eastside Catholic chose to, play a lot of their starters, but also played a lot of young players and getting their young players some playing time, what have you. Ballard won that game. Really, their coach Ross Humphreys in that program, they've done a great job since he's taken over. But anyway, going back to the championship, Monday night sports, Metro football season is a wrap. Going back to the game, so opening kickoff, Seattle Prep took the kick and marched down, had a great drive, and went ahead 7-0. And that was really about it, because O'Day took over from that point forward, and the final was a 49-7. And O'Day made a big statement there in that ball game. And Daniel, do we have a drum roll or anything like that? Do we want to do a drum roll for our player of the week? There it is. So anyway, player of the week, and again, winner of a $20 gift certificate to the Seattle or Emerald City Fish Company is a freshman running back standing at 5'9", 177. That's what they list him in the program, Jason Brown. And he had a couple of great highlights. I think we have some highlights. A couple of touchdowns.
Game 5:24 left to play in the first quarter. Seattle Prep leading O'Day 7-0. And the handoff again, Brown on the left side, breaks the tackle. He gets to the sideline. It's off to the races. Brown, he may go all the way, Edwin. He's going to run him out. Touchdown. Oh, my.
What a run.
Jason Brown bounced outside, and then it was a foot race on the left sideline, and he took it all the way. Oh, my. 49 yards or 48 yards. Touchdown, O'Day.
So that was the first touchdown. Oh, look at the big guy sporting some Franklin Quaker stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I forgot I had it on.
Yes, boys. Well, hey, and you know what? That's where your wife went, and I'm sure your wife got it for you. So enough said. Anybody that's married, they know. And Daniel, do we have the second touchdown that Jason Brown had as well? Let's go ahead. If we have that, let's go ahead and play that as well, just so people can see a little bit of what that young man did. Oh, okay. If we get that, or if we can get, we'll show that to you as well. Anyway, and I was just saying to our listeners, man, that just what a season, what a joy it was for us to bring the season to them. But how O'Day made a statement, coming back from that week 3 loss to Seattle Prep, man, and for a guy like Jason Brown to have a great game like he did, it's those guys up front, man, that have to do the job to make it possible. And talk a little bit about that and that O-line and what they did.
Hey, Rick, you can see the confidence in those young men, and I guarantee you, like the ones I played with in high school, the ones I played with in college, and the ones I played in the NFL, hey, we are friends forever, man. Because when you get together and you can grind like them young men grind the other night and actually have the size that they have, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they can do and how they're doing it.
Yeah. And then I want to, one of the things that you have kind of created, you and Tony, the Belly Bumper Award. And I know we talked about it during the game. Did you make a decision for your Belly Bumper of the week, the final week?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to the offensive line of today.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. And let me list off. So you talk about the size, and I'm gonna list because they had a little bit of a rotation. So in addition to the starters, I got about a couple of other guys I'm gonna mention, but I'm just gonna list them off. So you got Oliver Bradish, who junior, 6 feet, 235 pounds. And that's the smallest of the bunch, Edwin. Come on, that's the smallest of the bunch.
That's the run of the family.
I know. So listen to this. Michael Padilla, 6 foot 268. Mark Nebo, 6'4", 341. Khalid Bryce, 6 foot 290. Keith Hendershot, 6'3", 268. Owen Prentice, 6'3", 285. Charles Waverly, 6'3", 285. And then one of the tight ends, Quinn Carolyn, 6'5", 227. Those guys, did a job, and I apologize if I'm missing anybody, but I think I got all the guys that we saw, out there. We were taking the numbers down just because I want to make sure that I you said you were going to name them as a belly bumper award, and I want to make sure that we mentioned their names as well, and the job that they did was something special. But yeah, again, man, for a young man like Jason Brown, freshman running back coming in, and he was impressive. Kid that gets up the field and made some great decisions, and he had a great game and a great season for all that matter.
Well, hey, Rick, to be totally honest, to show you just a little offensive line arrogance, he ain't had a whole lot to do.
It's true.
Do exactly what he's been taught since an early age, and I'm sure you heard it too. Man, hit the whole running. There
you go. Yep. And he did just that. So again, congratulations to Jason Brown, our final player of the week. $20 gift certificate to the Emerald City Fish Company, and we'll get that out to Jason. But congratulations to O'Day and to the Metro League, Seattle Schools Athletic Department, Pat McCarthy, who you can hear every Thursday night here on Metro Weekly Sports or Metro Sports Weekly, and his staff, AJ or Albertus Brooks, Tara Davis, all the people there. They just did a fantastic
very
job.
Impressed with them, Rick. Yeah. Very impressed, man. They were available when we needed them. They're in and around the stadium. They're present. Hey, man. Hey. If you're not proud of the effort and what they did this year, you're just wasting your time. They did an outstanding job.
Yeah, no doubt. So I want to shift gears here. NFL draft is coming up, man.
Oh,
NFL draft, the 29th and 30th, I believe it is. The 29th and 30th, the 29th and 1st. Are they going? Yeah, it's interesting.
Are we going to do something around that time, Rick?
Well, I don't know. See, next Thursday, and then so actually it ends on the 1st. So because sometimes it can be a marathon event. A couple of quick things I want to point out, and then I want to get your take. You and I have talked about this already a bit on the air, but I want to get your take and just remind our listeners as we take a look at the Seahawks and what do we think they need to do in the offseason. And obviously there's been talk, and we need to get Bob Condotta back on from the Seattle Times. We had him on when the season ended, and there was a talk with Russell Wilson and moving him and what have you, and everybody. We can talk about that, but when it happens, if it happens, it happens. But I'm not I'm not a proponent of that, and don't think will happen. And I think that if the franchise and if players, and you tell me, Edwin, but what I was gonna say is if the franchise and if the players, Eagles, are so tender, so soft, so fragile that if the man states some facts that, hey, we need to step it up with our offensive line, and people can get upset and say that, okay, he has created a situation where you got to move him now. We got a problem.
Well, what do we do? What do we do for a quarterback before he got here?
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to watch him at North Carolina State for that before he left to go. I guess was it the Wisconsin?
Wisconsin, yeah.
Just a talented kid. He seemed to have himself together. He plays hard. He gives one incredible effort. You know, so if that's how they're gonna solve that problem by trying to move him, I want to see who they're gonna bring in here.
Yeah, I mean, here's a guy who, again, you know, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know all the details, but a guy from the outside looking in looks like he is the ultimate leader, and a guy that's going to give you his all. He's been incredibly durable in his career, and has you know, already has a Super Bowl ring, and has taken this team to this franchise to 2 Super Bowls. And quiet as it is kept, and it's not that quiet. They should have 2 rings.
Yeah.
But you know, so anyway, with this, a couple things on the draft. I just want to remind our listeners. So yeah, it starts, you know, next week, the 29th, and goes through the 31st. Check this out though. When I thought this, I did a little bit of research. So the teams with the most picks through the first 3 rounds, and then I want to talk about where the Seahawks are. The Lions, Detroit Lions, have 7 picks in the first 3 rounds. Buffalo, Buffalo, you know, advanced, and Buffalo got a nice looking squad. They got 5 picks. Los Angeles has 5. The Vikings have 5. You know, so it's like, you know, you got all these teams, man. It's like, okay, now let's talk about the Seahawks, which is like, oh man, really. So the Seahawks, as you look, the Seahawks, and I'm going to read straight from the article, just so people, after winning the NFC West in 2020 with a record of 12-4, finishing conference number 3 seed, Seattle is set to pick at number 56, number 129, number 250. That's 3 picks. To put the value of these 3 selections into context, it's the lowest draft capital of any team since 1999.
Well, Rick,
yeah,
you know, I wear this here because I scouted, not because I played.
Right.
Because I scouted for the New England Patriots. There's some stranger things that have happened. You know, they got to get out and they got to beat them bushes.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go out and find somebody that not only fits on the team in Seattle, but fits in the community of Seattle. Because they've had a few knuckleheads, and just that one here recently.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to go get it, Rick. You know, they got to go get out there, and they got to go get the best football player available. That's going to come in here. That's going to come in and go to work and help them get back to that point of being a Super Bowl contender on a yearly basis.
Yeah, I mean, good enough to win the division and what have you. But yeah, you gotta be able to advance. So now, one of the things we talked about is that they've got to shore up the offensive line. Now, you know, they've done a couple things that you know, are good. Number one, they've re-signed center Ethan Posick, so he's back, and that's gonna be helpful. If you look at their depth chart right now, you got at left tackle Dwayne Brown, at left guard they said Phil Hayes, center is Posick, guard is Gabe Jackson, and then tackle is Brandon Shell. They also acquired, I mentioned Jack, they acquired Gabe Jackson. So now he's listed as their starting right guard. And just for people that may not know who he is, 29 years old, and they made a trade with the Raiders, and you know, bringing him in for a 5th round draft pick. So you know, they didn't lose a lot in getting him, and you know, is that a guy who can you know, shore up the hole? I mean, they got him listed number 1 on the depth chart, so obviously they didn't make that trade. And the guy who's got, you know, 5 years, over $50 million left on his contract, you expect a guy like that's going to come in and you know, he's gonna help shore up that offensive line. So I think that you and I talked about, that was probably the top priority in our minds. You know, so you got to do that.
Well, Rick, you better go get some athletic offensive linemen that can think on their feet. You know, because your quarterback got good legs. So that means he's going to be on the move. So the offensive line better be athletic. You know, I thought those guys, Brown, I thought he did a heck of a job last year. I either played with Shell's uncle or his father at South Carolina State.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and his name precedes him.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact, his uncle that played at his uncle or his dad who played at South Carolina State was an outstanding football player and an outstanding basketball player. You know, but then again, so was his Uncle Art.
Yeah, right.
Who went to Maryland State to play basketball and ended up playing and being possibly the best tackle that ever played the game. Not
to mention Hall of Famer, huh?
Man,
right.
Head coach, Hall of Famer, and just an outstanding guy. You know, but that's the area that they're gonna have to show up, man. You know, the run game got to go. You know, you got a quality receiver, and what helps him become a quality receiver is being able to throw that ball in third and long situations, being able to throw that ball in run pass situations, you know, play action. So I'm excited about the upcoming year. I want to see exactly what they're going to do and how they're going to do it.
Yeah, no doubt. So, you know, the other thing I think that was important, you and I talked about this, and we thought one of their better pickups. I mean, obviously Jamal Adams was. I mean, come on, you know, you can't say enough about that young man. But Carlos Dunlap was a great pickup, and you know, I was fearful they were going to lose him. They ended up re-signing him, a 2-year deal for $16.5 million. So that's going to be, you know, he's a big kid, you know, I think 6'5", and a guy who. You know, gave them a little bit of a pass rush. I mean, then the defense. I mean, we talked about this, man. Late in the season, the defense stepped it up. The defense, the second half of the season, and the last third of the season in particular. I mean, they did an excellent job. So, but you know, you lose some guys as well. So, you know, and you lose my man Griffin at corner. Man, that's a tough one. You know, so. But
Dunlap, I think somebody in Dunlap, either his mother or his father, attended South Carolina State. So, you know, his bloodline is pure.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be a very, very interesting year for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, no doubt. So, you know, I think those are some of the big. I mean, we'll see if there's any other, you know, moves, trades, or anything like that, you know, for the Seahawks. But you know, time will tell. I mean, they kept a lot of guys, but I'm looking at the list now. So they lost Shaquille Griffin. I think that's the biggest loss. Carlos Hyde, who came in and had some solid games at running back.
Yeah.
They lost both Philip Dorsett and David Moore. David Moore, I think, was that kind of third, fourth receiver coming in that you know gave them some depth and made some key catches and what have you. That's an area that I think, you know, you got Tyler Lockett, you got you know the man child. You know,
they got to do what it's going to take.
To
get him in a situation to where he can make plays.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, despite all of these other shortcomings, you know, this is a big, productive receiver. You know, I played with a receiver for the Seahawks that you had to put him in a position to make plays, and he was nowhere near as intimidating looking as this kid.
Right.
But he got the job done in a big way.
Yeah.
You know? But they got to figure out how they're going to get the ball to this kid. You know, and I don't care what they got to do. You know, you got to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Yeah, no doubt. If you just tuned in, you listened to Dupe and Edwin talking about the Seahawks draft. And you know, Edwin, I think it's going to be really interesting. You bring in a new offensive coordinator and you know, a couple guys from the Rams who, you know, arguably had a very productive, very potent offense. It'll be interesting to see how that's going to shift, if at all, the offense and how they do things. It's funny. I was reading an article and they're saying, well, you know, with the, you know, new scheme, whatever that new scheme will be, you know, how important is a running back going to be? But in a Pete Carroll, and you can talk about this a little bit, but in the Pete Carroll team, establishing that ground game is a high priority. And again, I mean, talk about how important having a solid running game is to a good passing game.
Well, I mean, it's good for a productive offense, and when and this is not my first go around, observing Pete and his approach to doing things.
Right.
You got to get the running game. When we were in New England together, we got a running game together, and it benefited us.
Yeah.
But it's again, they got to come with it now. All the expectations is right where they should be. The offensive line's gonna have to get up and go. The receivers, the running game, the defense got to hold their end of the bargain. Hey, I'm excited about it. I can't wait. I want to see exactly how they're going to make this work.
Yeah, no doubt. I think as I'm looking at the free agent additions, and no huge names, but a couple of other guys, Edwin, that I think and are slated to start that are going to could make an impact. Defensive end, they bring in Aldon Smith. If people aren't familiar with Aldon Smith, he's a first round pick back in 2011. He had 33.5 sacks in his first couple of seasons, including 19.5 in 2012. And a guy who potentially could come in and, we'll see. He's a veteran, and, we'll see what he can do. Another acquisition that I think is going to help, and they're listing this guy as a starter, is tight end Gerald Everett. And so he's coming in, and a guy who, should be able to help this ball club out as well. And then you got Will Dissly, Luke Wilson, coming back. You lose, Greg Olson, who, retired. But, Gerald Everett's a guy who coming over. Now you're going to love this, Edwin, from down south. Went to South Alabama. 6'3", 240. This guy who can get it done. Last season, I'm looking at his stats. He had 41 catches, only one touchdown, averaged 10 yards a catch. So a guy who, and again, they're listing him as, at the top of the depth chart. So some moves, nothing major, but we certainly will see, what impact that has in time. Obviously, time will tell.
Well, again, I mean, the key word is everybody better be prepared to come in and put something in the pot.
Yeah.
And take advantage of every afforded opportunity, because the Rams ain't going nowhere now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that gives our listeners a little bit of sense of what's going on, with the draft. So what we'll do, I'll reach out to Bob Condotta with the times and with the draft coming up next week, see if he's available maybe next Monday and can kind of lay the groundwork for Seahawks fans to kind of hear what's going on and what the Seahawks are thinking going into the draft. Again, they don't have a lot. I mean, they've got 3 picks, and the first one's not until pick number 56. So,
wow.
Yeah. So it's
wow.
So, but I mean, is there some value there? Do they make some moves?
Well, Rick,
time will tell.
I will never ever complain about the players that the Seahawks have picked.
Yeah.
Or picked in the past. Because I am one.
Yeah.
The best pick. I think they made the best pick in 1981.
Yeah.
114.
At 114.
At 114.
Yeah.
Now,
and we're out of time, but you make a good point. I mean, there are some finds there, so don't rule out them finding a gem in there. Hey, that's going to do it for us. The big guy, I'm Dupe. And again, want to say congratulations to Jason Brown of O'Day being named our final player of the week. $20 gift certificate to the Emerald City Fish Company. That does it for us, man. Yes, sir.
Rick, we might need to just take that offensive line out there and buy them a couple of fish sandwiches.
I think so. Yeah, we need to talk about that. That'll be on us. Be on Dupe and Edwin Monday Night Sports. I think we're going to have to do that. All right. Until next week, make sure to stay tuned right here. Lid Line is up next. So next week, like I said, we're going to reach out to Bob Condotta, and I know it's a busy time for him. So if we can get him, we will, and we'll talk Seahawks draft next week right here on Monday Night Sports. Until then, thanks to Daniel B. Thanks to big guy Edwin Bailey. I'm Dupe.
All right,
Until then, peace and God bless.